with me here at Mona. I'd like to begin by paying my respect and acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land that we meet on today, the Indigenous people of Lutruwita, Tasmania. And I'd like to say a very big thank you. I can't really express how grateful I am to be here. It's hard to explain, really. You know, this is called the Room of Dreams. It really is a dream. What a thing to be able to come here. I'm here for 6 weeks, and this is week 4. So I'm more than halfway through now. And I'm here for 4 nights a week and 4 days a week, and I'm sleeping here in this space in the museum on my own. And yeah, it's been a pretty surprising and intense experience. A lot of people look at me with a strange and quizzical expression and say, why? Why? That's pretty weird. Yes, it is weird. Yeah, it's very weird. It was my idea, thankfully. I think if it wasn't my idea and I was here doing this, I just don't know how it would be. I have a behavioural sleep disorder, and I'm a very regular sleepwalker, sleep talker, and usually my dreams are pretty awful. I have a lot of terrors, and my dreams are just filled with fear that's more real than the feelings I feel when I'm awake. And I have a lot of confusion about what's actually happened or what's happened in my sleep life. And I have no control over it at all, but I would love to be able to understand it better, ultimately interrupt it, change it, gain some power over it. So that's why I'm here. I'm here just to really just dive into it and feel it. I'm being live streamed all the time, which I've come to terms with. Look, you know, I could use some strong language to express just how uncomfortable that is, on top of just being alone in this place at night. I came in with so much bravado, but it just knocked the wind out of me the first night I got here, just how scared I was. Not scared of any physical threat. I know that I am safe. In fact, this is possibly one of the safest places you could be. You know, I'm very much under surveillance, but in a nice way. You know, security have got my back. I've got my 2-way radio. I can talk to them if I'm feeling worried, and they're here, which is really reassuring. But what I have had to face is my mind, which I actually think is probably what I really needed to do. So this started out as being, this, exploration of sleep, but also with the purpose of writing music and having creative output each day, composing throughout the day in front of everyone, which is a thing in and of itself, trying to turn off that kind of need to perform all the time and pretending, no disrespect intended, but that you guys aren't there. You know, it's hard to be rubbish in front of people and to explore an idea that maybe isn't anything yet, or you don't know what it is, and you've got to explore it. So I've been really experimenting with my hair, and I'm just like doing this a lot and trying to pretend that nobody's there, and increasingly just playing with my eyes closed. And so then I can kind of get into it a little bit more and switch off that interaction, because I'm so conditioned to that. Normally it's why I play music, to connect with people. But yeah, this is a whole other thing. Anyway, I haven't done any sleepwalking, not a single thing. And I've only done a couple of sleep talks, which is very much not normal for me. And I did warn David at the beginning. I said, I can't guarantee. I may just dribble on the pillow. That might be all that happens. And it turns out no sleepwalking has happened. But I feel like actually something better is happening. And that is that I have been sleeping possibly the best I've ever slept. I've been sleeping long and peacefully, and I've actually had a couple of really good dreams. I feel like I could count on my hands the number of times in my life I've had a truly good dream. I have a lot of chaos, nonsense dreams that aren't anything, they don't make sense. I have a lot of very bad dreams where the feelings are very strong, but I don't have many dreams that are good to the point where I feel those strong feelings of it being good. But I had a dream 2 nights ago, and I've written a song about it today. In fact, I've spent almost all day with this song. What a joy to just write one song and just play it all day. It's been so good, for me anyway, just as an experience. But the dream was, I want to describe it to you. I was on like a coast, on a beach, and it was like a point, and surrounding me were big soaring rock formations, and I was on this little beach with little rocks, these big rocks around me. And then the water was in front of me, but also behind me, and coming in with these massive, massive waves, huge, tall waves that were coming up and crashing like in each direction. But instead of being like wild and scary, they were so, so gentle, so tall and so big, with little wisps of water coming off the top and then just gently going away, and then the next wave would come. And there was this lovely warm feeling, just this warm glow, like an afternoon golden light that was really nice, and it was a really good dream. So this is my song about that dream. Also, I've been thinking about lullabies and what lullabies are. You know, through history, you know, back a very long way, we've sung lullabies to babies and to children to help them go to sleep. But I've also been reflecting on the night and how my fear has just caught me so much in the dark. And here at night, alone, I felt incredibly vulnerable to what's going on in my head. And I know, rationally, it's only in my head. Nevertheless, it's very real. And I've been thinking about that and how maybe one way to interrupt my sleep situation is to write myself a lullaby and give myself a mantra as I'm going to sleep about what's actually going to happen, and that maybe I can control it. And just to have that awareness when I'm asleep that it is a dream, because that's something I don't have at the moment. When I wake up, I can't believe it isn't real. Anyway, here it is. So this is my soundscape, and I've put my lullaby words to it. If you have any questions, do feel free to let them brew, and we can talk about them as we go. is no fear. I choose to be here. I will be saved. I will be warm. I will feel safe from home. I can control where I go. I choose my path. I can know it's only real inside my head, and I am safe. Inside my bed, safe in my head, safe in Thank you for sharing that with me. Does anyone have any questions about any of this before I move on? I really love questions. Some of the best experiences I've had here so far are just hearing other people's stories and experiences. I think we can all identify with sleep, you know, because we all do it. If we're alive, we have to sleep sometimes. And I'm pretty fascinated, actually, by other people's experiences and journeys and what their things are around it. And also I'm curious about fear. I didn't expect to be dealing with so much fear here, but I'm just fearing, my own thoughts. And I think that is the root of the issues with my sleep. Okay, I want to sing another song for you that I wrote on Monday. The days are all blending together, as you can imagine, in this place. It looks the same all the time, apart from at night when it's really dark and quiet. I'm actually going to do a thing. Before I forget, I'm going to tell you that at 3 a.m. in the morning, tomorrow morning, I'm going to set my alarm and I'm going to get up and I'm going to, on my live stream, do a concert to no one in the dark. And I'm going to just sing all of my dreams that I can think of that I've had, the bad ones and the good ones. I'll have to be careful what I say because it is live streamed, so I'll have to choose my words carefully. But I'm going to do that. So if you happen to be awake at 3 a.m., feel free to find me on YouTube and I'll be there doing stuff in the night. Anyway, this song that I'm about to sing for you, I wrote it on Monday in response to some sleep talking that I did during Sunday night. And 2 words I said really clearly in my sleep: risk appetite. risk appetite. And as I thought about that, I was in the shower over in the admin building. You know, I go through the museum with my towel and my toiletry bag. It's all pretty weird. Go past the cleaners and try not to give them a fright. But I was in the shower and I just started to think of all these words that risk appetite actually meant to me. Because there's lots of risk involved when we go through something that we don't know. Like I risk being, making something crappy in front of people or not being happy with it. I risk, looking stupid as I go to bed in my ugly pajamas. I risk hurting the artwork. The museum is risking that by having me here. It's an unknown quantity. So there's lots of risk. Anyway, so I had a lovely time writing about that, and this is the song that I wrote, and I'd like to share it. Thanks for being here, by the way. It's a really nice experience for me to actually be able to share and connect. It means a lot. Just going to apply a little bit of blue tack to my harp because it sort of changes the sound that the strings make. They go from resonating in a rich way to being quite muted. Yes, this is really just a song about vulnerability, I suppose. It's hard to be vulnerable. We want to be like perfect and polished all the time. It's better when you're not, though, I reckon.
What's your risk appetite? Are you gonna let them see you fight?
Let them see you're not alright. What's your risk appetite? Gonna tell them why you care. Gonna feel it when they stare. When you haven't even done your when your thoughts are everywhere, let them see when you're afraid, let them hear mistakes you make, when your confidence has caved, when your mind becomes deranged. Gonna let yourself be real. Tell them how you really feel. Probably gonna take a fall. Gonna have to risk it all. Thank you. So there you go, song inspired by my nighttime ramblings, saying risk appetite in my sleep. Really meaningful, actually. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's a weird experience. Does anybody have any questions or things they'd like to know at this point? No? Okay, if you think of anything. What does it feel like? Just being watched. Yeah, it's kind of relentless. The question is, what does it feel like being watched? Yeah, it's just kind of there all the time. I had a really uneasy relationship with the live stream initially, especially being watched while I'm going to sleep. That felt very wrong. I kind of feel like I'm at peace with it, and it's a strange kind of company now when I'm feeling really alone. I'm not used to being alone. So yeah, it's weirdly kind of comforting now. I try not to think too much about who's watching or why they're watching, because that was a bit of a cycle of badness when I started to think about that. Yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of okay about it now. During the day, it can be pretty full on being watched, especially if I'm really just trying to get into a flow or trying to make something, especially if things aren't working well. If I allow myself to get into a weird headspace, it can all just feel like really a lot. And just the air in here, you know, it's always quite warm. It's like being in an aeroplane all the time, you know, just such conditioned air, constant humidity, quite warm. And when I go outside, it's just such a relief. You know, I just go outside and feel the air and feel the, you know, the wind, and it's a big relief. And it's also, maybe that could lead me into the next song. It's also just, I just popped out there for a second. Because the cord's coming out, that's why. It's a real relief to have light. It's so dark in here. I've really struggled with the dark. So having that light is just such a lovely relief. And going home, I get to go home on a Monday night and have just a couple of days at home with my family. And it's really, I feel like I've always had a great appreciation and love for my family. And I don't take it for granted, having a home that's safe and that feels warm and welcoming to go to. But this has just really highlighted that, especially after my first weekend here, where it just took me by surprise just how, hard it was. I thought it was going to be easy, and it was not easy. I just had this panic rising in my throat the entire time. I barely ate anything for 4 days. I was just on the verge of just a fight or flight situation. And then going home, or just the lights coming on at 6 a.m. in the morning, just being hit with relief. And yeah, going home and just feeling so good about it. So I actually, in week 2, when I came back in, I wrote a song about home. It's really wholesome, but I think there's space for that We don't have to be edgy and stuff all the time. Sometimes it's nice to like reflect on the good things. So I'm going to sing you my song about home. It's called Wrap Me in Your Warmth.
Wrap me in your warmth, wrap me in your light. I'm tired of being alone. I don't think I realized how much that I love home. I don't wanna be alone. Wanna see the sky, beacon of light, a comfort in the night. Comfort beacon of light, comfort in the night.
Oh, my little song about home and how much I like the light. Okay, I'm going to share a song now which I wrote quite a few years ago, and it's off my album, and it's called Awaken. Yeah, thanks for joining me. Please feel free to come and go, it's fine. I know there's so much to see in this place, and there's ferries to catch, and drinks to be drunk, and things to do. So it's fine, you're welcome to come and go. If you want to chat to me after, feel free to. I like to talk, you've probably gathered that by now. Anyway, this is Awaken. I've been playing this almost every day just because it makes me feel really good. So it's self-indulgent, but who cares, right? Nothing wrong with that. Thank you. It was my song Awaken, which you can hear in all the places that you hear music in this world where we're bombarded with sound all the time. So you can listen. Does anybody have any questions at this point? What made me get into the harp? That's a good question. So I started learning harp as an adult. So when I was 27, I started playing the instrument. I'd heard a harp when I was younger. When I was a teenager, about 14, I was on a family holiday and I heard one and I just loved it. Just something about the sound just really moved me. I played the violin and the piano from a young age and did musical theory, which I'm really grateful for, although I never felt a great connection with those instruments. I did them, I played them, learnt them, enjoyed them, did not do the work. Can't believe my parents supported me in continuing to pay for music lessons. You know, how fortunate is that? Because I did not do any work, very slack. I actually used to just feel incredibly anxious about performing in front of people, which is weird because I love it more than anything now, so it's pretty strange. But yeah, so it wasn't until I moved back to Tasmania. So I studied occupational therapy in Adelaide and I worked in different places around Australia for some time. And when I was in Queensland, living in Mackay, I was working at the hospital there and I ended up kind of in this musical group with a bunch of health professionals. And there was a speech therapist who played Celtic harp, and I love Celtic music. And she and I ended up kind of doing a bit of a violin and harp duo where we would go out to the Whitsunday Islands and play at weddings and stuff. So that felt like a lot of fun, but it reignited my interest in the instrument. And then when I moved back to Tassie, back to Launceston, where I live now, there was an adult education course. So that doesn't exist anymore, adult ed, but it used to be like you could go along and learn a new skill. And I did a course called Learn to Play the Cardboard Harp, which you can see my cardboard harp down on the floor, the little wooden frame with the purple cardboard sound box. It's a great little harp. It actually sounds quite good. So I still occasionally play it. But yeah, I did that and I was just hooked. And it has happily taken over my life in a way I never would have expected. And now I'm sleeping at Mona. So there you go. Yeah. Any other questions? No? Okay. All right. I don't know how you feel, whether you're feeling like, you've had enough or if you'd like one more. I'm just going to play another one, but if you've had enough, please don't feel like you have to stay. Is there something you'd like to hear, Lizzie? One more? Okay. So I've been just searching for songs about sleep, and I've played this song a few times just because I'm learning it over the past days, a week or so. But I had a lot of fun learning it, and it's by Metallica, and it's called Enter Sandman. Yeah, it's so fun. I've wanted to learn this song for years because it's just a really cool song, but I love it because it really does, it's so right for my sleep life. It really is. So yeah, let's do that. Yeah, question? Yeah. What? Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. Yes, yeah, of course. Yeah. I really enjoy arranging songs for harp. It's very fun. Surprising what works on this instrument. It's very versatile.
Say your prayers, little one, don't forget my son. tuck you in, warmth within, keep you free from sin till the Sandman he comes. Sleep with one eye open, grip a pillow tight, exit lights into night, take my hand. Something's wrong, shut the light, heavy thoughts tonight, and they aren't of Snow White. Dream of war, dream of lies, dream of dragons' fire, and things that will bite. Exit light, enter night, take my hand. Exit light, enter night, take my hand. Off to never, never land. Now I'm down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Never mind that noise you heard. It's just the beasts under your bed. In the closet. In the closet. In your head.
Thank you so much for being here. I've enjoyed it. Thank you. And remember, if you're awake at 3 a.m., tune into my live stream. I'll be playing all my dreams to no one. Yeah. Great. And if you've got questions, come have a chat.